Wow.
Hello.
You live in the future.
I know, right? Technology. What a thing.
I'm in a Barnes & Noble.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. Say hi to Corey. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, Rachel.
Just in case.
Perfect.
Leave that down there.
I'm loving the aesthetic of this PowerPoint.
I know, right? I didn't totally just find this for free on the internet and steal it. All right, what has it? Should we just get started?
You know? I think so.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm RTP. This is Rachel. I didn't put Rachel's name on PowerPoint. Sorry.
Just here.
Yeah, she's just here to hang
That's
out. Yeah. So today, the webinar, we're going to be talking about vaping 1. Before we start, I'd like to do some introductions for everyone. So if you're able, we'd like for you to unmute and sort of tell us what your name is, what action group you're from, what's your role in your action group? Are you member, advisor, yak, cats? And what's your favorite thing about fall? Rachel, do you want to start us off?
Yes, I will.
All right.
My name is Rachel. My action group is the LMTI staff. My role in my action group is the LMTI staff. And yeah, thing about the fall, I love fall. It's my favorite season. I'm just gonna say, like, I love Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. We do pajama Thanksgiving in my house. We all just, because you wear that so you're already in this. After you eat all the turkey, you're just in your pajamas already.
That's nice.
Really nice.
I like that. All right. I'll just go next. If you don't want to talk for whatever reason, we have a chat option. You can write in your introduction. I'll read it out for you. But I am Ryan, Action Group, LMTI staff, role in Action Group, LMTI staff. And my favorite thing about fall is getting to wear long sleeves.
Ooh.
Because I actually really enjoy long sleeves. And we have our introduction here from Vanessa. Vanessa, hello, how you doing? She's with the Mayor's Youth Council in Passaic City. She's the advisor. What's up, advisors? And her favorite thing about fall is the food. Good choice. Good choice. All right. Would anyone else like? Actually, I'm not gonna do that because you'll all just speak. Andrew, would you like to introduce yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's on now.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm from Rage Against Alcohol and Drugs, or RAD. I'm a yak from the group, and my favorite thing about fall is probably seeing the leaves change colors.
Love it.
All right. Who else? All right. We have a write-in from Mancha. Hi guys, I'm Mancha from Sayreville Action Group as an action group representative, and my favorite thing about the fall is the different colors.
Ooh.
That's also a good choice. I really like that. All right, who else do we have? Delaney, would you like to introduce yourself? Are you typing, Delaney? I feel like I can see you typing furiously. Let's see who else. We have Victoria.
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hi. I'm Victoria. I'm from the PCTI Action Group, and my favorite part about the fall is pumpkin anything.
Yes.
There's a big debate in our office though between pumpkin and apple flavor.
Yes, that's true.
Now, controversy.
Pumpkin's the best, hand down.
I mean, all right. I mean, here's the thing. I love pumpkin, but I am team like apple cider, you know? But I do love pumpkin. All right, let's see. Who else do we have here? Amaryllis.
Can you like hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, hi, I'm Amaryllis. I'm an AG rep and I'm from PCTI. And I love sweater weather, so yeah.
That's fun.
Girl.
I love that. Okay. Katie or Kathy? Kathy typed it. Hi, it's Kathy Viola, friend of Epic. My favorite thing about fall is our wedding anniversary next Sunday.
Aww.
Congrats, Kathy.
Wait, what's next Sunday? We're in November.
Yeah, we're in November.
Gotta get a card for Kathy.
And then we also have Katie here. Katie, would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, yeah, she just typed it in. Wow, what timing that was. Says, hi, it's Katie. She didn't say hi. I assumed she said hi. It's Katie. My favorite thing about fall would be apple pick. Also, the Epic Advisor. So, what's up, Katie? Yay for advisors. Oh, did I not read? Oh, I didn't read Delaney. Sorry, Delaney. I totally skipped. Delaney says, I think I should probably send in chat as so not to disturb my fellow Barnes & Noble people. Ha ha.
And then check your computer volume.
Okay. Hi, I'm Delaney from Grand. Also, you didn't say hi. I'm just assuming you're saying hi. I'm the president of my action group, and my favorite thing about fall is spooky season. Love it.
Beautiful.
And Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself with your voice, or you can type it in chat and I can read it out for you? And we can just. I don't know. She says hi, everyone. She introduced herself more.
Mr. Corey, too.
Here. How did I miss his?
No, he didn't type it.
Oh, Mr. Corey.
Muted.
Mr. Corey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. Should I go in there and do my introduction?
No, do it from where you are.
So my name is Corey. I'm Action Group LMTI staff. My role is LMTI staff, just like the rest of these two people. My favorite thing about the fall is PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte.
Another Team Pumpkin. All right. I'll see how it is. All right. I think that's everyone. Thank you guys for introducing yourselves. And for everyone who's here, you're going to get points for your action group. For your action points. So congrats on that.
At least I got you here. So Lisa says, hi, I'm Lisa Durder. I'm the youth coordinator of the Vernon Youth Action Group. And my favorite thing about fall is pumpkin picking. Team Pumpkin.
I love that you could read that.
You
had
really
so much trouble reading the names earlier.
I was straining, but I got it. For you, Lisa. I got it.
All right. Okay, and I think that is everyone. Okay, cool. So let's move on to today's agenda. So first thing we're gonna do is our vaping webinar, which we said was sort of like the key thing for our webinar. We're gonna give some information on vaping, courses about it as well. We're then gonna talk about prom, which we're very excited about. We're gonna give everyone. We're gonna get. Sorry, I'm just muting everybody. We are giving out a poll this year, so everyone can decide on what this year's prom theme is going to be. So we're providing 3 options, and then we're going to put out a poll on our social media tomorrow. But we're going to share with you what the options are going to be. We also have a fundraising event through the Lindsey Meyer Memorial Foundation. We have a beefsteak event coming up that we're going to share, and we're going to release all of our future webinar dates and a cool thing we'd like to do with them. So let's get started. All right. Vaping webinar. Don't get fooled. Get it? Isn't that cute?
Delaney likes it, actually.
Delaney did like it. Good. I like that we can only see Delaney's reactions.
Yes.
The thing, we just have to assume everyone else loves everything. All right, so we're gonna play a little game called 2 Truths and a Myth. So for each of these things, we're gonna put up 3 things. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is not true. It is a myth. And bear with me because, oh wow.
Oh, did it?
Perfect. We're using polls for the first time with this program. So I don't know how this works for you. So I'm launching the poll now.
If you're just called in, just really think hard and we'll get your answer.
Yeah. So we could read them out for you as well. So the first one is that e-cigs and vapes are commonly used in addition to traditional cigarettes as opposed to in place of them. The second is vaping is a healthy way to quit using regular cigarettes. And 3, malfunctions in e-cig batteries and other components have led to explosions of the device, which have resulted in serious injuries.
So we want you to identify the myth, correct?
Yeah, so your goal is to identify the myth. Which one is not true? We're gonna give just a few more seconds. 8 of 11. Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
So we're going to go ahead and end the poll now.
And your results here.
All right. And our results here, we have,
Share
we can share our results.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I've never done this before. This
It's
is all
fancy.
new.
It's fancy.
Yeah, this is really fancy.
I'm the tech support today.
Yeah, Rachel's our IT person. So we have 7 votes for number 2 and 1 vote for number 1 and for number 3.
And
the correct answer was, we're gonna stop sharing now. Number 2, yeah.
Got it.
7 of you got that correct. So vaping, the myth is that vaping is a healthy way to quit using regular cigarettes, because there's little evidence that shows that vaping leads to smoking cessation, and increased nicotine levels, and some e-cigs may actually increase addiction. Yeah. So that's actually a myth.
Totally. And there are approved ways that, like, based on evidence and studies that, will help people to quit. E-cigarettes, not one of them. So yeah, definitely a myth.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to poll number 2 now.
Can I read this one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so.
Sorry.
Thanks. So first one, vaping delivers nicotine to the brain in 1 to 2 minutes. Number 2, studies show that acute use of e-cigarettes can lead to cardiovascular diseases. And number 3, Juul's revenue is estimated to be around $2 billion. I feel like I have to say like 2 billion. Look at my pinky.
Oh. Yeah, so your goal is to identify which of these is the myth. I think we had 9 votes last time, so we'll wait for when we get 9 to close it. 6 of 11. People are thinking.
This is tougher. I had enough of our singing.
Yeah. All right, we've got 9 votes, so we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. We're going to share our results. So 6 of you said number 1, vaping delivers nicotine to the brain in 1 to 2 minutes. 2 of you said number 2, and 1 person said number 3. And so let's see which one is the myth. It's number 1. Oh.
Sorry.
But
stop sharing.
Oh. There we go.
Oh,
wait.
No.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're learning as we go here, guys. Sorry. Yeah, so the myth is that vaping delivers nicotine to the brain in 1 to 2 minutes, and it actually delivers it in as little as 10 seconds.
Yeah, and number 2 here, so the studies show that acute use of e-cigarettes can lead to cardiovascular disease. There's not a lot of studies out. Juul and e-cigarettes are relatively new to the scene. Mm-hmm. They've been around for some years, but relatively new to the scene, so we don't know as much about the long-term effects, but we'll get into this a little bit more about what we are finding out, and I think we even have a name for one of the lung-related diseases, so we'll find out more about that later.
All right, so let's move on to our 3rd one. So number 1, 41,000 people die annually from secondhand smoke. Number 2, the average smoker spends nearly $4,000 per year on tobacco products. And number 3, tobacco use is the 3rd most prevalent cause of death in the United States. So I'm going to launch that poll. You guys have to decide which one is the myth.
This one's trickier.
Yeah.
Did you make them harder? Each one harder?
I did make them all harder.
I
didn't copy them from Rachel.
I copied them from Corey. So thanks, Corey.
Thanks, Corey. So 8 out of 11. All right, 9 votes. So we're going to end the poll. I'm going to share what you said. So this one was a little more split. We have 3 people say number 1, and 6 people say number 3. So let's see which one is the myth. Number 3. Most of you got that right. So tobacco use is the 3rd most preventable cause of death in the United States is a myth. That's not true, and it's actually the most preventable cause of death in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got some educating to do. Sounds like.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next one. Rachel, would you like to read those?
I would love to read this one. Okay. Over 3,200 youth under the age of 18 try a cigarette for the first time every day. 1 tree is killed for every 15 packs of cigarettes made. And age does not have a factor in terms of nicotine addiction. So we're looking for the one that is not true. What is the myth among here?
Also, I see we have Mia now. Hi, Mia. I know you guys don't get to see this, but we get to see how people are voting in real time, and it's a lot of fun.
It's wild. Happy election week.
Yeah. I mean, they're all anonymous. I don't know who voted for what. We just see how many votes there are. Ooh, this one's split. All right. We'll give it a few more seconds. All right. So we're going to share our results here. Ooh, we had, wow. All right.
Ooh.
So it turns out 3 of you said the myth was number 1, 2 of you said the myth was number 2, and 3 of you said the myth was number 3.
We are torn.
Yeah, we have a lot of different opinions on this one.
Show us what it is.
Let's see.
RTP.
The answer is number 3. So the myth is that age doesn't have a factor in terms of nicotine addictions, which is not true because teenagers' brains are still developing, and that makes them more vulnerable.
Definitely.
Yeah, which the brain, science tells us is not fully developed until the age of 25, which people are saying is now later.
Even later.
Yeah, so, the younger you are, the easier it is to develop these kinds of addictions. All right, let's move on to the next one. I think this is our last game of 2 truths and a myth. So we'll read them out. So number 1, e-cigs only produce vapor. Number 2, flavor chemicals when inhaled have been known to lead to popcorn lung. And 3, some e-liquids have been found to contain formaldehyde. So which one of those is the myth?
Sitting here just waiting,
Kathy said we had a really tricky question. It's true, Kathy. We did.
Try.
Okay, we have
You're really thinking.
8 votes. We are not split on this one. Everyone who voted, all 8 of you said, number 1, e-cigs only produce vapor.
Yes.
And is that true? Yes. I mean, it's not true. It's true.
It's the right answer.
It's the right answer, but it's a myth.
It is not true.
Yeah,
it's not true.
It's just the myth. So despite what is claimed by these businesses and industries, it produces aerosol, which is not a vapor. Vapor implies 100% liquid, and aerosol has tiny bits of solid, which smoke is an aerosol. So it's not vapor. It's not true. It's not vapor. It's not true. It is a myth. All right.
So let's jump a little bit more into this. Thanks for playing along, y'all. Yeah,
that was fun. All right, so let's talk about tobacco and what tobacco is. Because I think.
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So tobacco is a plant that contains nicotine, which is dried and fermented to be used in tobacco products, e-cigs, vapes, and other electronic nicotine delivery systems, which we're just going to call ENDS because that's a long word.
Yeah. You might hear a lot of different terms for that. Some people are saying electronic smoking devices system. There's a lot of different things, but for right now, we're just going to focus on calling them ENDS because we're talking specifically about tobacco and nicotine.
Yes. All tobacco products, anything that has ever been listed as a tobacco product contains nicotine in it. Tobacco is most commonly smoked, chewed, and sniffed, which are the ways we do traditionally know tobacco to be used. A statistic we have is that 480,000 tobacco users die each year, including 41,000 to secondhand smoke. And tobacco is the single most preventable cause of death in the United States, which is something we learned from the two truths and a myth game.
Yeah. You might come across some people who might say, vaping, that's not a tobacco product. Why would you say it's a tobacco product? But it really comes down to the way that they get the nicotine that goes into these, into vapes. So there's a very complicated process that I do not know enough about to fully explain, but essentially what they do is they make what they call nicotine salts. So that comes right from the tobacco plant, and that's what's used in your e-liquids and vapes. So it all does come from tobacco. So that's why they kind of package it in the same broad category.
And so here we have sort of pictured and listed some different kinds of devices. So when we talk about electronic cigarettes, e-cigs, vapes, pod-based, this is what Juul and Joy are. This is what these kinds of things tend to look like. We also have cigarettes, cigars, pipes, hookahs, etc., which I think a lot of people traditionally associate with what tobacco products look like.
This is where it's different, though.
Yeah.
You got your snuff. You got moist stuff, dry stuff, snus. That's a little packets. It's not chew, but you'll put it in your mouth, so it's in the little packet, so the nicotine kind of goes, right in through the mucus and isn't that a pretty word to say?
I love that word.
Like,
I love that word so much.
Right in through the mouth. So there's a lot of different ways that people are, getting the nicotine, getting the tobacco.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna play another game called Test Your Knowledge Chemical Edition. So I'm gonna put up a poll in a second, but I want you to identify out of all of these things, which are naturally occurring in the body. So I want you to select which ones are naturally occurring in the body.
Here we go.
Launch that poll right now.
Let's read these out. You want to read one column? I'll read the other?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Dopamine, caffeine, oxytocin. I can never say this word correctly. Toluene and endorphins.
We've also got nicotine, serotonin, salvia, cortisol, and butane. And it says salvia, not saliva.
Salvia.
Salvia.
That is not a typo.
Mm-hmm. I want to see which of these do you think are naturally occurring in the body?
This is a cool activity too to do with your action groups. I know my Epic people on here, my Bergen County people may have done this at some of the Bergen Youth Task Force meetings. So we'll go and we'll figure out what's inside the body, what's outside, kind of define them all. And it's like a pretty good discussion around this.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting some votes in. 6 people. Give it a few more seconds. This one takes a little longer.
It's true.
There's so many options, so many words I can barely pronounce.
Toluene. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to get diacetyl. So like, I feel pretty proud that I have some of them down. I'm working on it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. Right. Ooh, we got 2 right when. Oh, we got 3 right when I said that. All right. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll then. So let's see what you guys thought. Okay, there we go. We're going to share the results. So 9 out of the 9 votes, people did say endorphins.
Okay.
We then had 7 votes for dopamine. We had 8 votes for serotonin, 5 votes for salvia and cortisol, 4 votes for oxytocin, 1 vote for toluene, and no votes for caffeine, nicotine, or butane.
Okay.
So let's see what the correct answers were. So the highlighted ones are the ones that you will find naturally occurring in the body. So dopamine, 7 of you said. Oxytocin, which 4 of you said. Endorphins, which everybody said. Serotonin, 8 of you said it. And cortisol, 5 of you said it.
Congratulations.
Good job. So we're going to talk about some of these things now a little more in depth. Rich, would you like to take these on?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the ones that were found in the body naturally.
Totally. So cortisol, it's kind of like nicknamed the stress hormone, but it does a lot of different things in your body, from metabolism, immune responses. Yeah, you might hear cortisone sometimes, different thing, right? That's a shot that gets put into your body. But the cortisol is that stress hormone that's activated sometimes for different reasons. I'll keep going. Do you want to switch? Do you want to go? We didn't rehearse. We
did not plan this at all. We're totally winging this. So we've also got dopamine. This is what people call like the feel-good hormone. So this gives you bliss, euphoria, motivation. This is the one that a lot of people talk about, like with feeling happy. Yeah,
definitely. Endorphins. Every time I hear the word endorphins, I think of the movie Legally Blonde. If you if you don't know why, just watch Legally Blonde. But endorphins are these positive chemicals, and that's like that runner's high, that response to physical activity, positive risk taking, and that's going to keep you, that good feeling that way.
We've also got oxytocin, not to be confused with
Oxycontin, codone.
There's a lot of different kinds of oxys, but oxytocin is the one naturally found in your body. It's called the love hormone and influences your behavior and your emotions.
Yeah, this is the one, like if anybody ever gives birth one day, you will get the biggest oxytocin hit in the entire world. So that's kind of, falling in love, all those lovey things, the oxytocin comes out.
Yeah.
Serotonin, the happy chemical. So if you know anybody who is depressed or takes medication for that, they might take something called an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, because the serotonin kind of has that a lot of effect with your mood, your appetite, sleep, memory, some things, associated with depression. So serotonin is that happy chemical. Ooh. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah,
or just us?
Sorry.
Yes.
So now let's talk about the chemicals found outside the body. I did not do my.
No, you're good.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I did not do my transition. So they're all highlighted not to start with, but we'll talk about why they're. Yeah. It's a surprise for now. So the ones listed, so butane. Butane is actually a flammable gas, and it's bottled and used as fuel. So that is not a naturally occurring thing in your body.
If it is, see your doctor.
Yes.
Caffeine. Okay, we all know caffeine, right? Coffee, tea. It's a stimulant. It's not happening in our bodies. A lot easier for our bodies to process that. Healthy in moderation.
Nicotine, which is a stimulant. It's highly addictive, and it's made from several plants, including tobacco.
I got it again.
Yeah.
So this is this colorless liquid. It's in coal, tar, petroleum. When researching this, they're saying it's the industrial solvent. It's like it grows. It shouldn't be in your body. TLDR.
And the last one is salvia. So it's one of the most potent naturally occurring hallucinogens.
Yeah, kind of looks like mint leaves.
Yeah. And the reason that we have 3 of them highlighted in blue is because those 3
have been found in e-liquids for vaporizers and different ends. I'm just gonna
different
ends.
ends. The nice term.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of different chemicals that have been found. So we talked about popcorn lung earlier. That's when if diacetyl is in the e-liquid flavor. So the chemicals that make the flavoring are a lot of where these issues are coming from, specifically diacetyl and the popcorn lung. But I think we might have more in there later.
All right. So let's talk about some of the health risks associated with vaping. And a lot of these are really sort of specific to youth vaping as well. So like we talked about, nicotine harms the development of a young person's brain. Like we said earlier in the game, the two truths and a myth game, right? That young people who still have developing brains are more likely to get nicotine addiction, just developing until the age of 25 or later, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
But usually the minimum is 25. Yeah.
Nicotine also harms the parts of the brain that control learning, attention, moods, and impulses. So the part of your brain at most teenagers, a lot of it is developed. It's mostly the front mushy part right here, your prefrontal cortex, which controls like a lot of that. So the fact that the nicotine is affecting, our decision making and all our mood and impulse stuff that's kind of up in this front part is kind of scary.
Also, nicotine use among adolescents may lead to an increased risk of addiction to other drugs. So that's not good.
Yeah. And children and adults have been poisoned by swallowing and breathing e-liquids. So what's really scary about e-liquids is that so nicotine is something that can affect your body, not just through inhalation, right? So you might get nicotine poison from having like a contact on your skin because the concentration is so much higher in this small little thing of liquid than other things. So there have been a lot of calls to poison control, a lot more calls to poison control in the past few years as vaping's become popularized because young people, children have found it and maybe they swallowed it, they thought it was a drink or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways that can affect and harm us other than just inhaling it.
And also, correct me if I'm wrong. Rachel's like the expert here.
I'm not the expert.
Also with e-liquids, a lot of like the flavorings they use are meant for ingestion. So they're meant to be eaten and go through that sort of process in your body. However, when they're inhaled, it goes through sort of a different process and those chemicals react differently with your body than they do when they're consumed. So they sort of have different reactions and some of them are really not good.
Yeah, so that's, again, coming back, I hate to keep coming back to the popcorn lung because most companies have taken the diacetyl out, but it's still very hard to tell because there's no, there aren't labels on every thing. It says every single chemical, right? But the diacetyl was flavoring used in artificial like popcorn flavoring. So when we eat that, our body has an exit strategy, right? Your lungs do not have an exit strategy, right? It's not going to like be digested and leave. It's staying there. And what it does is, going to react totally differently.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about EVALI, which I think is how we pronounce it.
I've never heard anybody say it. I've just read about it a lot.
So Valley is something I would say like last 2 months has sort of come out,
Yeah.
like last month maybe even. And so it stands for, get ready for this, e-cigarette or vaping product use associated lung injury. And sort of the first time that there's been a specific illness associated with vaping specifically.
Yeah.
And so there's 49 states and the District of Columbia and one U.S. territory have reported 1,299 cases of lung injury associated with the use of electronic cigarettes, e-cigarettes, vaping products, and 26 deaths have been reported in 21 states with
New Jersey is one of them.
Yeah, New Jersey is one of them. And while there's still no official line on what's causing the Valley outbreak, 80% of implicated products have contained THC, which is an active ingredient in marijuana.
Yeah, I think even too, there's been a lot of things. So a lot of people have been saying they're mostly black market cartridges. Like obviously there's nothing conclusive, no official line yet, right?
Yeah.
But what happens with those black market ones anyway, just stretch the THC oil, they've been putting vitamin E oil in it, and the lungs are absorbing it. So you'll see these splotches, and I think that's from the different oils and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So, and then this is a totally like different avenue, because when we talk about vapes, right, you can be having so many different things. You could just have the nicotine with the flavoring, but you could also be vaping illicit drugs like marijuana or anything,
yeah.
which is really scary.
Talk about cessation. So now sort of some resources and things, other information.
Yeah. So there's like 10 million things that we could be talking about vaping. We could do a 18-hour presentation nonstop. I will stand. I will, I'll be for 18 hours and talk. But we just wanted to touch a little bit on a lot of different topics. So that if you have more questions, there's going to be more resources and stuff. But one of the things that's really we feel is important is some cessation tools. So cessation basically just means quitting, right? So the American Lung Association, you can go to lung.org. They have a lot of different things. They have tools for teens. They have, if you're working in your community and you want to give tools to adults, they have tips on how to talk to your kids, how to talk to your students. So they have a lot of good stuff on there for how to start a dialogue and where you can find more help. Become an X is really great. Do you guys know the Truth Initiative? Yeah. I'm only looking to Delaney. She's the only one I can say. But the Truth Initiative is a pretty popular prevention group. They have a lot of ads out there. They did the puppet ads and like all those.
Yeah.
All
If you watch MTV, if you watch MTV, you'll see a lot of their
or the
commercials.
CW. You got it. So Become an X is one of their programs, and you can check out their website. It's really cool. They also have a texting service. So if you text Ditch Jewel to 88709, they'll connect with resources. But then there's also a lot of state and government resources. Just put a few on here. The New Jersey Quit Line. This is a lot more for older adults, for 18 plus, but they certainly would be able to connect you with more local resources in your area. Because I know we're kind of all over the state. And there are different quit lines throughout the entire state. So there's at least one or two in each region, north, central, south. And then I also found, so smokefree.gov has different sections for if you're a teen, if you're a veteran, if you're senior, whatever different kind of classifications, which is pretty cool. So if you have somebody who's trying to quit, you can check out that too and find sources geared towards a particular audience.
And some other resources that are available. So tobaccofreenewjersey.com has a lot of free resources. They're providing a lot of information and trainings about vaping specifically. So they have Don't Get Vaped In trainings. Those are done in all different areas of the state. So you can find those trainings online.
And those are just for adults.
Yeah.
But what happens is people go and they get trained, and then they can do trainings in your community, which might be opened up to teens and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And to incorporate more teens, we also have Incorruptible Us, which is a statewide youth-led movement to combat vaping and sort of the myths and reveal the truth about vaping and let people know about that. So if you go to Incorruptible.us is their website. So they have school tobacco policy toolkit so that you can make policy changes in your schools. They have an Aspire program.
I love Aspire.
Yeah, do you want to talk? Yeah.
So what happens a lot of times is, if somebody's caught vaping in school or something, they're just going to be suspended. And then what happens? Then they go home and vape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can vape more if they want to, and not in secret. So Aspire is an educational program that they would have to go through, and you would probably do it in the schools. And it kind of leads you through, it's like this Avatar video game style type of thing. And it leads you through different learning modules about tobacco, different ways that they've targeted youth, what it does to your body, a whole bunch of things. So we're giving them education instead of punishment.
Mm-hmm. And then they also have other intervention strategies and opportunities listed on their website as well. So they're a great resource.
Totally. So yeah, that's all we have for vaping for now. But if you do have questions, if you want specific things, please email one of us, because we have tons of resources. We just didn't want you to have to sit here for 18 hours.
All right. So we're going to move on to some other LMTI related items while we have some of you here. So our prom poll, like I said earlier, you guys are going to decide what our prom theme is this year, which is held in January. It's January 4th at the Woodridge Civic Center, which I believe is 145 Highland Avenue in Woodridge. We've been working here for that long that we just remember the address of that building now. Yeah. So we're going to reveal what the 3 prom options
We thought a lot about this. If you feel like you really, really hate all of them, just type in the chat and let us know, and we maybe.
Or just don't tell us.
Or just don't tell us. We really thought hard about this.
All right. So our 3 options. Here we go. First one, Jurassic theme. Ooh.
Jurassic prom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's going to be dinosaurs everywhere. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Our next one is 90s prom.
Hey, right?
Scrunchies and MTV. That's all I really
That's
remember
all you know
about the 90s. Yeah.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
Y2K. Wild.
Pretty much. And our last prom option is Candy prom.
Ooh.
The sweetest night ever.
I like your tagline.
Thank you.
Yes.
So those are our 3 options. Delaney says, I recently bought many scrunchies, so 90s is great for me. Well,
there you go.
Vote for it in the poll tomorrow when it's released, and tell everybody to as well. So we're going to be sharing the poll. It'll be on our website. We're going to email it out to advisors, and it'll also be on all of our social media as well.
Oh my God, Lisa thinks they're great. Yes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I need constant approval. I'm like, thank gosh, they like them. They really like them.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I set the poll only to be open for the next 2 weeks. So that way we can, start getting ready for it and planning. We need to know what we're getting.
I got to get on Pinterest, you know?
Yeah. So tomorrow the poll will open, and then it'll be available for, I think, 2 weeks, maybe 1 week. I'll let you know tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll find out together. All right.
More details about prom?
Here
you go.
Wow, it's almost
Thank you, past RTP.
Thank you, past RTP. So like I said, we're going to make the poll available on our stuff. It will end on November 22nd at 1 p.m. There you go.
Oh, I think that's the day of a certain event. Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So it's going to be on January 4th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's free for everyone who attended the summer leadership conferences this year. $5 for anybody else. It is 180,000%. That's not a number, but it's a number now. Mandatory for everyone to bring permission slips. Even if you're 18 plus. So CATs, advisors, everyone.
We need emergency contacts for everyone.
We need emergency contact info for everyone who's coming. So please bring your permission slips.
Yeah. This is like our 6th prom. It's super exciting. Treble and bass productions will be there again. So the DJ from the dance. Yes, they'll be spinning. That's what they say, right? They'll be spinning.
They'll be spinning.
There'll be lots of, there's food, there's pizza, there's games, there's a photo booth. Tell everybody and their sister to go. But they need to bring a permission form with them.
Yes. And if we do it on our snow day of January 11th, it's Lisa's birthday.
That's also Corey's birthday.
Oh.
Wow.
Maybe Lisa and Corey are twins. Who knows? Maybe not. It's fine. All right, so let's move on from prom. 3, element of beefsteak, a great night of support.
Beef.
All right, Rachel, do you want to talk about the beefsteak?
I do. Okay. So the beefsteak is, it's our 10th one?
Yeah, it's our 10th annual. Yeah.
Wow. It's held by the Lindsey Meyer Memorial Foundation. So that's the program that LMTI used to be under. So now they're just our good friends now, and they help us out. And so the beefsteak, this is for adults 21 and over, or 18 and over? 18 and over? Okay. So it's adults 18 and over. It is on Tuesday, November 26th at 7 p.m. at the Brownstone. It's this place in Patterson. I think it's owned by a Real Housewife.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, if you watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, you'll know all about it. The Mansas, yeah.
The cost is $60 or $40 for a student, and you can buy your tickets at lmmf.org. It's Lindsey Meyer Foundation. There's a lot of great things there. It's all you can eat. The food is so good. Like, I can't stress that enough.
Delicious.
But I am, yes, the food, I love to eat, and the food is amazing.
Yeah.
There's a silent auction. There's a tricky tray. When I say there's a tricky tray, there's a tricky tray. Like, the tables wrap around the room because there's so many things. 50-50, a bunch of stuff. And all the proceeds from that event go to LMTI and the New Jersey State Organization of Cystic Fibrosis. It's a really great program. A lot of I want to say all of the people who organize it have known Lindsey or are related to Lindsey in some capacity. So it's just really cool. It's a really fun night. Yeah. It's also the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So if you want to get training for Thanksgiving dinner, train here. Yes. It's great. Yeah. Approved by Lisa. It really is awesome.
Lisa loves the Brownstone.
They gave a bowl of mozzarella sticks to us one time.
A ginormous bowl of mozzarella
It's not just beef stick, it's everything. Yeah. You got your pasta, you got your desserts, you got your salads, you got your onion rings. There's a lot of food. I'm not going to name every single food. There's a lot. Anyway, beef steak.
All right. And future webinars. So last thing we're going to talk about. So I have our featured dates, which are listed here.
Screenshot.
We got some Fridays. We'll make sure we send these out as well. They're also going to go on the Action Group resources page. So if you go to the LMTI website and there's an action group,
you see it up here?
I'm seeing it right here. There's an Action Group tab. If you go down, there's an Action Group resources page. That sort of has the hub for everything Action Groups need. So that's where all of the recordings for our webinars are. You can get to the prevention portal from there. You can check out the Action Group point manual from there. You can submit things your Action Group has done for points on there. So it's sort of the hub for all Action Groups. So all the dates will go on there as well. And honestly, especially like through this new reporting system, which has been so cool because so many more groups have been reporting, which is really fun to see, and more often, and we're really getting a chance to see all the things Action Groups are doing, which has been so much fun.
Tag us in everything. Every time we get a little notification, I'm like, oh my God, they did that. Yes.
It's so amazing. And there are so many awesome things that a lot of the Action Groups that we know are doing that we almost think like it would be so cool if other Action Groups could see this, because some of your events or programs that you're doing are so cool that if you're interested in sharing about a certain program, event, I'm going to say those two words a lot apparently, that you do with your Action Group. Like if you want to put together like a 15-minute or 30-minute presentation on like what it is, how you did it, like what was your action planning process for that, and sort of like come on one of the webinars and share what that was, like that'd be really cool, because I think a lot of Action Groups would like to sort of, you're gonna get tired of hearing from us, would like to hear from like other Action Groups, and we really want these to sort of be webinars that are like helpful for you and are helpful to like share your ideas as well.
Like there's, I'm just like off the top of my head, I know Vernon just made that really cool video PSA they could talk about. Rad did their empowerment day for their 8th grade class. Epic did a bunch of stuff for knockout opioid use day, and everybody did a lot of stuff. Y'all are wonderful, and we want you to tell everybody about it.
So if you have any ideas for that, just reach out to us, and then we'll sort of help put together something and make sure it fits into one of the webinar days.
And that being said too, and you may have said this in the last one, I don't remember, but if you do have a topic that maybe you don't think you could talk about it, but you want us to talk about it, let us know. Like I know I definitely am going to plan a mental health one, because I know that's a big topic that comes up for a lot of groups. But we want to make sure that this is productive and helpful for all of you. So help us out, and it'll be great. Maybe there's points to be present. I don't know. I don't make up.
We can add that. We'll add if you want to present on a webinar, we can give your Action Group some extra points. All right. So there's our contact info, although most of you know it.
Oh, but it's changed.
Yes. So there's an important thing to note. So all of LMTI social media channels are exactly the same. However, we do have new emails now. So as you'll see on the screen here, my email, it was ryan@lmtinstitute.org.
That's so long.
It is. However, our email is now rpalmer, my email. My email is rpalmer@pipnj.org. So this applies to all of the LMTI staff. It is all our first initial for our first name, our last name, and at pipnj.org. This is because we work with partners in prevention, and so all of our emails are melding together now, which is very
What
fun.
happens if I email your old one?
Oh, well, if you email Ryan at lmteinstitute.org, it's okay. It will still get forwarded to this new one. However, that will not be the case forever. So if we start migrating people over to the new emails, that would be really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you have the PRP website address has changed as well to prpnj.org. It used to be partners-in-prevention.com. Yeah.
Cool.
So now it's a lot shorter and a .org. So that's very exciting. So yeah, if you have any questions, please email us, message us on Instagram. Don't come find us at our houses. We don't want that.
Do you want to unmute everybody 1 second just to see if there's anything
Yes.
before we get going?
Does anybody have any questions?
We gotta manually unmute you all. Oh man. Oh man.
I don't remember how to do this.
Oh,
okay.
You can just do it right on. Oh, there you go.
I'm not gonna unmute all of you. All right. If you have a question, you can just write it in the chat. I was gonna say, why did I do this?
I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
my suggestion.
Yeah. All right. No.
No. Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna say no one has any questions. If you do, just let us know, and then we'll answer them
At our email address.
on our email address. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us on this Thursday afternoon. Hope you guys have a great day. Have a great fall. Enjoy your pumpkin or apple
apples.
stuff. Whatever. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Remind everybody to vote.
Yes. I
Oh,
never know how to do
end
this.
this.
I never know how to end the meeting.